Hello. Oh, am I? Yeah, I'm going. Okay. There was a little bit of lag in the actual timekeeper up in the corner there, and it was like just stuck on 0, and I wasn't sure if I was actually streaming or not. It's confusing. All right. So, hello. I'm Amanda Call. I'm working on this comic page I've been working on for several weeks now on the stream. I promise I've been doing other stuff in the meantime. I've just been saving this page for the stream. So this is a page of my webcomic, Age of Night, chapter 24, page 13. On the stream, I have drawn most of it. I have done pretty much all the inking on stream so far. I'm going to see if I can finish it up tonight. So at this point, I finished doing all my background stuff with a pen and nib, and now I'm moving on to just brush inking. Oh, where's that piece of paper? Oh, lordy. Okay, I found it. My little scrap piece of paper so that when I load up my brush, I can hone my point to get a nice thin tip. As you can see, I use this little scrap of paper for this a lot. It's handy for that. I'm just going to kind of leave that tucked over here for now. So just starting in with some of these figures in this big bunched up crowd here. So I have to be very careful about how they all overlap each other. I like doing hair. It's one of my favorite things to ink. I don't know why. I like getting the texture. And all the tiny little lines. Tiny little lines for the beard. There we go. as I rotate the paper to make it easier for me to get the angle that I need. Oh, let's not do that. As my drawing board attempts to escape. Okay, there's Thel's hand over there. He's holding Constance's hand still, but they're kind of blocked by Drake, so. And there's his. It's kind of a lot going on over here. I don't know what was going on when I drew these pages, but like this page, I've had to go back and fix so many silly errors in the pencils that I noticed after the fact, of like consistency errors of like what characters had with them or are wearing or whatever else, or just weird little consistency errors. I don't know where my head was at when I was drawing this. All right, I think that's all of Thel. Let's see, I think I can get Wen now. I suspect this panel is going to take me a little while to finish because there's so many different figures in it. And then hopefully the other panels will not take anywhere near as long. This is what, the fourth stream where I've worked on this? Third or fourth now? I think it's the fourth one. It's going to be coming up pretty soon online at this point, and it was quite a ways out when I first started. But usually I would just do like one stream where I drew the page and one stream where I inked it, or maybe two streams where I inked it, like one background inking, one brush inking, and whatever didn't get done on those streams I just did off camera in between. But I thought it was kind of fun to actually do like as much of this one on camera as possible. I did a considerable amount of the drawing off camera just because all of that business took quite a while. So it would have probably been more like 5 streams if I had done it entirely on stream, and then I would have been like behind on posting. I didn't want that. Don't want those lines to be too heavy because all of this kind of like crowd here, we can just kind of leave pretty light and easy because you don't need it to be a big bold line popping forward. You just need it. You need it in there so that we don't just have floating torsos, but really that's not where the focus should be. Let's see, we'll get this guy over here. He seems to be the farthest forward, closest to the picture plane. It's still just so crazy to me to finally have all my characters back together. They're all in this panel together. My main characters are finally back in this panel together after years of being separated. It's like only a few chapters of the actual story, but it's been like years of my life that these characters were separated from each other. How crazy is that? Keep these lines. Oh, what did you do? Gracious. All right. Trying to keep these lines pretty thin because a lot of these people are just like, they're essentially extras. They're not named characters. They're not people that we really are focusing on. And so I just want to keep the main characters kind of popped forward, which is not even these guys, but they're in front, so they kind of ended up with a bolder line, which I'm not crazy about, but such is life. I should have maybe composed the shot a little bit differently, but it's a little bit late for that now. All right, shadow onto this guy's arm. I think that's most of this guy. We've got this lady back here. Little fur capelet cuff collar thing. I don't know what the technical term for that would be. Mantle, I guess. Yeah, it's a mantle. Me desperately trying to think of words for garments. This, like, dreadlock hair texture takes a little while to render, but trying to make it clear that that's the texture and not just have, like, a bunch of weird squiggles or blobs that don't read like they're supposed to. Also try to make sure that they're actually doing things that, like, physically make sense. Because obviously hair that's in dreadlocks does not fall in the same way that hair that is not does. That's kind of an awkward hand gesture. Maybe not the best one ever, but oh well, I guess that'll do. Okay, before I come back over here, I'm going to go ahead and ink Kamaria here. And Kamaria and Fel both had their outfits changed recently, and I keep on having to look back in my sketchbook to remember to draw them correctly. Because boy, do I keep forgetting to draw them the way I'm supposed to. I'm like, wait. What do they look like now? What are they wearing now? It's like they're actually in a... My comic is actually set in such a time, place, technology level situation where characters wearing the same outfits forever makes sense. Because it's like a high medieval equivalent technology setting. And so clothes are handmade and expensive, and most people don't own that many. And these characters are traveling. Or essentially, like, these characters are essentially all actually completely nomadic. They don't even have a permanent home. They live with whatever is in their backpacks. So the fact that they basically never change clothes actually works just fine. Especially since, Wen can just use her white magic to, like, clean them all. Like, magical laundering service. Ah. You are now wearing nice, fresh, clean clothes. But because of their various, because of Thel and Kamaria's various adventures with being captured by the mages and the shadows, They have completely different outfits now. They lost their old clothes. Which was actually covered, like, on screen because I'm a nerd and I wanted to show that they were going through that process of losing those clothes and everything for different reasons. Okay. There's Kamaria. Cat. There's the... Oh, I bonked my camera. Yeah, that's all the cat you get on this page. Just the back of the cat. Just the back of the cat today. All right, back to the crowd. I only have, what, 4 people left? Okay. 4 people left in this panel. I can do it. This guy's got, like, the very short dreads. What is that? What am I seeing here? I don't even know. Weird lines. Weird random lines going on in the background. Oh, here we go. All right. Yay. Only 2 characters left in this one. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh no, I lost my tab. Okay, there we go. Trying to keep an eye on the chat. Trying to get Constance's scars in such a way that they actually look like a part of her face and not just a bunch of random lines. All right. So there's Constance. All that's left is a seam. Who has the most hair? On account of he's wearing a headdress made of it. So he gets lots of extra hair, which makes inking him take a minute. Right. Yeah, so Asim already had like a nice big head, thick head of hair. And now he wears this headdress that's full of even more hair. So he's just got like an absurd amount of hair. These little details on his face. And also his mantle is very big and fuzzy and black, naturally. So get that fur texture there. Also abs. Scoot that up to a better spot in frame here. Right. This other hand over here. All right. Oh my goodness. I finally finished that top panel with all of those people in it. And it only took me 35-ish minutes. Whew. All right. All right. Roll my neck and stretch here a little bit. Moving on to the next panel. Where's my little scrap? That tip got a little fat and out of shape. All right. Even though it's on the right, so it's not the best place to start, but it's, again, closest to the picture plane, so that's where I'm going to start. It being on the right is not the best because then if I move working from right to left, I'm going to drag my hand through wet ink, which is bad, so I'll have to be very careful as I proceed here. It'd be less of an issue if I were ambidextrous or left-handed. What happened there? Why did my tip get all weird? So you can see those spaces where I put a little X is what I'm going back and filling in with a big old spot black. That's what those X's mean. Boop. All right. I felt my finger touch something wet, and you can see there's ink on it. I stopped myself before I dragged it anywhere. I need to be more careful than that. There's when. Kind of squishy faced. Not sure what's going on there. But that's okay. She's like not the focus of this. Not the focus of this panel. Okay, well, there's when. Whoops, I want to finish that line. So now the actual focus of the panel, of course, is Kamaria back here. No, oh my gosh. Sorry, hope I'm not making you seasick. As I repeatedly bang into my little camera arm thingy. And speaking of hair, that's fun to ink. I always love inking Kamaria's wild wild, thick, curly hair that's just everywhere. I did have fun when I designed this new outfit for Kamaria, adding these little, like, details, like these little panels that give shape to her vest, which kind of indicates that it's made of, like, a stiffer material than her old vest. All right. So that's another panel of inking down. I've only got a couple left and there's not a lot to do on them. We're 45 minutes in, so I don't think I'll quite make it to the end on the stream here, but I'll be awful close. So a lot of this panel I did in the nib, so it's just this close kind of bust of Kamaria as she's walking away. What happened with that line? Let's fix that. Ah. It's like always very delicate on a face of like trying to create the appropriate like depth and everything without covering it in a whole bunch of lines and making it kind of a weird, hairy looking mess. All right, almost there. Got a little bit of her ear showing here. Using some of these highlights to define those big loose curls she's got. All right, hey, that's that panel down. We've still got about 10 minutes left. So while I work on these last couple of panels, I will start doing the thing, telling you my things. So to remind you, in case you came in late, I'm Amanda Call. I'm working on my webcomic here, Age of Night. Age of Night updates every Wednesday with a new comic page. And you can read the whole thing for free at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. You can also support me on Patreon, which is patreon.com/ageofnight, which gets you all of the comic pages a week early, plus other cool behind-the-scenes bonuses, and free comics for signing up. See, the close-up really gives you a chance to get that texture on the dreadlocks there, which is fun but a little bit labor-intensive. You can also buy copies of the comic. It's available for free online, but I also have collected volumes of it. I have 3 volumes out so far. Pages that I'm working on now will eventually become volume 4. You can find PDF versions of it on Skirmisher's website, skirmisher.com. They were available on Skirmisher's drive-thru a accounts as well. I'm not sure if they currently are. We've been doing some work on those storefronts, so I'd have to check, but it's worth checking out. You can buy physical copies, normally from me at conventions, but obviously that's not happening right now. And you could also buy physical copies from my friendly local bookstore, and they will be signed and everything. My friendly local bookstore is the Briar Patch at Bangor, Maine. Look them up online, and usually they have at least one of the volumes available on the website. If you don't see it on the website, just like shoot them an email or a message or give them a call, and they can always get more signed copies, because if they run out, they just call me up and say, "Hey, Amanda, when are you coming to Bangor next?" And then I drop off more copies. And then you support me and a independent bookstore, which is pretty cool. Yes, you can also buy copies on that website where you can buy everything. It is kind of a necessary evil to have my books there as well. So, just look up. There is a different book series titled Age of Night that came out after mine, I will have you know, which is something completely different. It's like a paranormal romance or something. I don't know. So look up my name, Amanda Call, and you'll find it that way. What else? Oh, yes. Social medias. You can find me on Twitter at Age of Night, spelled just like the comic. You can find me on Instagram at Amanda Call Art. And if you like watching these videos, watching me talk about what I'm working on and talk about art in general and time lapses of different pieces I've worked on and stuff like that, then you should subscribe to this channel and like this video so other people get a chance to see it and all that good stuff. All of the YouTube things that you're supposed to do. Oh, I'm so close to being done with this page. I think that's all the things I had to say. I'll probably think of something I was supposed to say afterwards. No upcoming appearances, obviously, since there are no cons. No cons anytime soon. Oops, he's sliding out of frame. Get back in frame. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're at 56 minutes, so I'm going to call it there. I am so close to being done, so shortly after the stream ends, I will just be finishing this up. And you would have mostly seen me take Age of Night, Chapter 24, page 13 through completion. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out and watching me draw, and I will see you next time. Bye.